How many games will the Baltimore Ravens win in 2023? What's going on, Ravens fans? It's Mitch here of the Bottom Line View, here to give you my record prediction for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in 2023, going game by game, providing my record prediction for the Ravens and my analysis on their 2023 schedule. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button and get in that comment section and let me know how many games you think the Ravens will win this season. Now, let's do some predicting. The Baltimore Ravens kick off 2023 with one of the best schedules for a contender that I've seen. I think this is a very comfortable start to the season. Yeah, you have a tough divisional schedule early, where you play in Cincinnati and in Cleveland. But in the first 3 weeks, you play rookie head coaches and rookie quarterbacks. Those are going to be automatic wins at home. You're beating the Texans and Colts. You're at least starting 2-2. You're at least starting 2-1, right? You're not losing to the Texans or the Colts at home. You're too good of a football team. John Harbaugh has you prepared. I feel bad for CJ Stroud in week 1 to play the Baltimore defense. That's going to be tough. I got the Ravens in both of those games. Week 2, I think the Bengals win. Now, I will say the Ravens play Joe Burrow tough. I think that playoff game really taught me a lot. This new scheme of Baltimore that they brought in last year is definitely going to bug Joe Burrow because of the too high. They did a really good job of messing with the timing. I feel like Baltimore, this year with Lamar, he's going to outplay Burrow in one of these games, and Burrow's going to outplay him in the other. Cincinnati's a top team in this league. I think you split with the Bengals this season, and I think you win the Thursday nighter. Thursdays, tough environment, on the road, you got to travel, messes up your schedule. It's very difficult to play on the road on a Thursday. I think that's very advantageous, especially in week 11 for the Ravens versus in a big game versus the Bengals. I mean, that's huge for the Ravens. If they're going to win this division, that's huge. Then week 4, Cleveland Browns. I like the Browns this year. I think they're going to be a borderline playoff team, if not in the playoffs. I think Deshaun Watson can only be better. Their offensive line is strong. They improved their defensive line with Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Tomlinson. They improved their back end with Juan Thornhill. The coaching should be better on defense. I really do like Cleveland. So I think that you split with the Browns as well. I'm going to say that you beat the Browns in the first game you play them and you lose to the Browns in the second game. I don't think you're going to beat Seattle, Cleveland, and Cincinnati in 3 weeks in a row. I think that is very difficult. Those 3 teams are all very good. So I got you winning the first game. I also said at the beginning, I don't think you're going to do any worse than 2-2. So it's more likely you start 3-1 because you could beat the Bengals early on. So I'm going to say 3-1 early. You beat Deshaun Watson, still getting that rust off. New defensive scheme for the Cleveland. I think you come in hot and heavy. You win that game. Then week 5, I think you lose to the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, that defense, they've been well prepared for Lamar Jackson. They've given Lamar some tough games. And when it comes to Ravens Steelers, it just feels like you guys split every season. It feels like one team wins one game, one team wins the other. So that's what I think is going to happen. You guys will win the Week 18 game, which is probably what I'd prefer anyways to go into the playoffs, which I do think you're going to make the playoffs. Go into the playoffs hot. Week 6, you play the Tennessee Titans. This is a tough game. This could be a loss. The Titans are the type of team that play the Ravens tough. They're very physical. They're gritty. They don't make mistakes. In Tennessee, especially after playing Cleveland and Pittsburgh in tough football games, That could be a really tough game. I do lean towards Baltimore because they got the better quarterback. They're the better team. They have the better roster. I think that Baltimore probably will win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans upset the Ravens. Week 7, I think you beat the Lions. I'm just not willing to say that the Lions defensively are going to go to Baltimore and slow down Lamar Jackson and company, especially with the receivers he's got now. I mean, Zay Flowers, OBJ, all those guys you got. I just don't think it's going to happen, okay? The defense for Baltimore, I think, is going to do a fine enough job. I do think this is a game where you could struggle because the Lions, very good up front, really can protect. And if Jared Goff has time, he could pick you apart a little bit. But I think the Ravens offense wins this game. Then week 8, you play the Cardinals. They're terrible. You win that game. Then in week 9, the Seattle Seahawks. I think you beat the Seahawks. This is going to be a tough game. Seattle's really good. They're on the rise. They're going to be a playoff team this year. I like Geno Smith, but I just think Baltimore at home is going to win this game. And then you play in week 12 against the Chargers. Chargers are a tough opponent, but I like the Ravens in this matchup. Why? Because Lamar Jackson's ability to run the football, the Ravens' general ability to run the football against the Chargers will allow them to keep Herbert on the sidelines. And I do believe that, like Burrow, Herbert, he has some issues against the Ravens. And then on top of that, I think that Lamar will be able to run. They'll be able to run the ball. And I think that's going to open up the rest of their offense. Then you go in the bye week. You play the Rams. I think you should beat the Rams, but that could be an upset type of game that you don't see coming off of the bye. But I think that you're going to win that game rested, playing a team like the Rams that you're better than. As long as you can get pressure on Stafford or whoever is the quarterback at that point, you should win that game. Week 15, I think you may drop this game to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a tough opponent. I could see you winning this game, but Jacksonville is the type of team where you lost to them last year. I think you gave up a lead in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Jacksonville is a tough place to play at times. It's a weird place to play, and you can get caught napping in that environment. They have really good receivers. They do have a creative play caller. They do have a run game. They can keep you honest. And then defensively, they're very athletic. So I think Jacksonville is a tough matchup for Baltimore. Week 16, you play the Niners. I'm going to go with San Francisco. This is going to be a great game, but I lean towards the 49ers in a primetime setting, at home, Monday Night Football. They have an excellent defense with lots of speed. And then on top of that, the offense has the best play caller in the league. So I got the Niners. Then week 17, the Ravens will beat the Dolphins. I think they'll get revenge for that absolute collapse last year. I think the offense will play out very similarly. I think they're going to score points. I just think the defense is not going to give up big play after big play to Tua and Tyreek Hill like they did last year. So ultimately, I have the Ravens with a very impressive 12-5 record for 2023. Let me know if you agree in the comment section below. Do you think the Ravens will be a playoff team this year? Do you think they'll win double-digit games? Let me know in the comment section below. It's Mitch. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.